Now, I'd like to show with a practical example how I can increase the readability of my text. And I could imagine that by adding a graphic to the background of this text, it could differentiate it somewhat better from the background. And we've seen how we can do this in the quick titler. And so I'll go in there again by double clicking here. And so now we can create our graphic. For example, a rectangle. I'll create one that covers the full width of the screen. The problem I have with this is that this object will also be scrolled from right to left, along with the text. This could of course be a nice option for you, but it's certainly not what I want right now. So I'll remove this object for now. I'll select it and delete. And so I'll use a different possibility. I'll place my cursor where we can see the text, and then I go to my titles folder, and in the bin, by using the right mouse button, I select New Clip, Quick Titler again. Now the Quick Titler window opens again, and below we can see our text. But this is not part of this title. The reason for this is simply that what we are seeing is the background, and we are creating a new title for it, and the background is the previous title we created and placed in the timeline. And now we can go to the background properties, and for the title type, we will use still. And now I can simply create my rectangle, and this will be used as a background, and so will remain in its position. I'll bring the transparency down a little bit. And so we've created our rectangle, and now with save, we will exit. And now what we need is for this rectangle to run simultaneously with the previous title that we created. So in effect, it should be a background for our previously created title. And to allow me to do this, I need to create a second title track. And I can create this by using my right mouse in this area here. I'll adjust my recording view, and then the function add. And now I have two possibilities. Those are add t-track to above and add t-track to below. And I'm not sure which one I should use right now. So I'll simply select add t-track to above. This pop-up appears, which allows me to specify how many new t-tracks I want, but I only need one. In order to see it more clearly, I'll adjust the dividing line here. And so now we have a second title track. And so I can place our new title on it. As you can see, we can't actually place it here. And the reason for this is because it takes into account our source channel mapping. And for the minute, it is set to the first t-track. I'll move it to 2t, and now we can place our new graphic object on it. We still have to adjust the length. And now our scrolling text is shown along with our newly created graphic object. The only problem is that the text is very hard to read, and the reason for this is because the new rectangle is positioned on top of the text. And we have a small trick to place this new graphic behind the text. To do this, I can simply drag the newly created t-track and move it above the first track. Now the scrolling text is on top of our graphic object, and therefore is much easier to read. I'll switch to single mode so we can see it even better. To be honest, I still find that the new graphic hides the text somewhat. So I'll double click on it, and then I'll change the transparency in the quick titler. A slightly higher value is what I needed. And the scrolling text is more easily read.